Hello and welcome. So, I have had a problem that I finally fixed with Mortal Kombat 1. Okay, so to explain this, the problem that I had, that I believe I completely fixed now, was the cross progression is glitched out, like on the Xbox and PlayStation 5. I don't know, you know, because I don't know what it's all messed up on, but I know that I had the game on PS5, Mortal Kombat 1. I had it on PS5, and now I have it on Xbox Series X. Well, now, when I had it on the PS5, I ended up getting the cameo pack. I played a ton of the game. I got a bunch of stuff unlocked, a bunch of second fatalities unlocked. Um, what else? Oh yeah, I had Havik unlocked. Um, a whole bunch of stuff, right? Well, when I got on the Xbox version of it, the Series X version, I noticed something. It said that the story mode had already had 100%. Okay. Now, I'm like, okay, let me go see if I got Havoc unlocked. Well, guess, come to find out, no, it didn't give me Havoc whatsoever. So I'm like, okay, so that didn't cross over. The only two things that seemed to cross over out of everything was the cameo pack and my rank. Those were the only two things that seemed to cross over. And I'm sitting here thinking, where's the rest of my crap? So I ended up getting a hold of Microsoft. They tried to help me through a bunch of it. They gave me some troubleshooting tips, doing this, doing that. Nothing seemed to work. They're like, hey, look, we're going to have to, submit a request to Warner Brothers, right? Warner Brothers Games, because they're the publishers, and you know, I was like, I don't mind doing that. So, I ended up doing that, and uh, they have not got back to me yet. But I thought about something though. So here's what I did to fix the problem, because since nothing crossed over other than my rank and a cameo pack, I could not unlock Havoc. I beat the campaign twice, even have an achievement to prove it, and then because I have this achievement that literally states that I beat the chapter 15 twice. Um, and basically, it's like, hey, look, you beat the game twice, right? Because I'm pretty sure you have to play through that whole story mode to get to the, chapter 15 before you actually unlock it. Well, I beat the story twice. It still wouldn't let me have Havoc. Um, and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, dude, what is going on? Like, it's not giving me my stuff. Well, I was sitting there and I'm thinking, what the crap? Like, why is it not giving my stuff? I'm not getting my, second fatalities. I'm not getting Havoc. It won't unlock them. And at first I had a problem because it wouldn't even let me purchase them. It kept saying I didn't have permission. Well, I figured that one out. So on Xbox, when you go to your settings and you go to your privacy settings, you go to the Xbox privacy settings, and then, you could set up your own, like, account privacy and online safety and stuff. Well, when you go to your view details and stuff, you see this one. It says buy and download, and then it says ask before buying. Turn this on to be asked for your PIN or Microsoft account authorization before buying something. If you turn this off, you can make purchases without that step. When you have that turned on, it prevents you from actually buying anything on Mortal Kombat 1 on the game itself. So when you turn the game on and then you go to the one that says Microsoft Store and you try to buy any of the packs or anything, it won't work. So there's a glitch with that. Now, that's not to say that you can't still have it set up to where you have to have a password to, you know, buy something in the Microsoft Store, because you could still find other ways to set stuff like that up. There are most likely other ways. I mean, you could even probably get a hold of Microsoft themselves and set it up. Or you could just turn it on and off, right? You can just turn it off, buy something, turn it back on. Um, but anyways, the as I was saying about the Mortal Kombat 1 though, with it being messed up on the cross progression, um, the way I fixed it was uh, I basically disconnected the cross progression um, settings on Warner Brothers on your own. You have to sign in to you got to go to wbgames.com, sign into your account, go to your um, account settings. Once you go into your account settings, you go to the one that says connections. When you go into that, you disconnect like your Xbox, your PlayStation, all the stuff that you have connected, because then when you do that, it does away with the cross progression. So basically, what that means is, yeah, if you have like the Cameo pack or something, it's obviously not going to cross over, so you'll have to rebuy it. But considering that you don't get like pretty much most of your crap if you have that glitch, I'm just saying it's probably just going to be better to rebuy it than it would be to mess around and keep trying to go, get the cross progression crap back on it. So, sorry it took me a minute to get to that, but yeah, so basically you just go to wbgames.com and sign in again, like I was saying, and go to connections. After you go to account settings, you go to connections, you go to the one that says connected accounts, and then it shows you what's connected, what's not. I had my Xbox and PlayStation both connected, which I think the reason why is because Mortal Kombat 11, if I remember correctly, you had to set it up with, you had to do that, I think. I think it had something to do with like the cross play with like PlayStation and Xbox to be able to play like Mortal Kombat 11 together on different platforms. I think it had something to do with that if I remember correctly. Um, but if you guys do have this issue where you can't unlock Havik, um, even though you've played the campaign multiple times, I don't think anybody's found a fix for it until, well, I think I probably the first one that found a fix, because everybody else, I've looked it up, I've done research, I couldn't find nothing. Even Microsoft couldn't even find anything, when I talked to them, because they gave me some troubleshooting tips and stuff, and they were like, hey, try this, try this, try that, nothing, right? And but I thought about it and I looked up online, like, hey, is there a way to like enable or disable, cross progression, right? And thankfully there is, but it does kind of suck. So I wouldn't suggest ever setting it up. Excuse me. I would not suggest setting it up. If it asks you to, I would just say no, do not do it, because let's say you do it, right? And then you end up losing internet for any reason. Well, then you can't go on and disconnect it. So then, if you can't get half your crap, then you just can't get half your crap until you get connected to the internet to be able to go onto their website and actually disconnect the cross progression. So, it kind of sucks, but hey, it did seem to fix the problem. So, that might be something that maybe NetherRealm Studios may want to implement into the game, since this is one of the games that actually has problems with the cross progression, obviously. So maybe they could implement it into the game itself. So like, hey, go to the option settings. Do you want to disconnect the cross progression, or do you want to enable it? You know what I mean? Like, do it that way. They need to implement that into all these games, because if somebody has a problem like that with cross progression, well, you don't have to. You could save an awful lot of freaking complaining and this, that, and the other just by Hey, maybe it's got something to do with that. Let's disable it real quick. Oh yeah, that fixed it. Just doing that simple thing fixed it. Like, really? So, maybe they could think about actually implementing that into these games, not just NetherRealm Studios, but all the game developers that do any kind of cross progression. I'd say, hey, implement it into the game so you can disconnect or reconnect it at any time. Because as far as I could tell, I don't think any of the games do it. And yeah, I'm sorry, there's no video. It's just kind of audio right now. But hey, I just wanted to help you guys out. And because when I looked it up, even people on Reddit are having issues with the same kind of issues, and they can't figure it out, and a whole bunch of stuff. So I ended up figuring it out myself, and guess what? It seems to work. So the fact that it seems to work kind of tells me that, hey, look, you don't have to go through all the fuss trying to fix it. As long as you go here, disconnect the cross progression, and it should fix it. As far as I can tell, this one's fixed because everything seems to be working properly. I'm actually getting my rewards now that I wasn't getting previously because of the fact that it thought that I already had them, which technically I did, but it wasn't giving them to me on the Xbox version, just like it wasn't giving me the second fatalities and Havik and basically everything else other than my cameo pack and rank. Other than that, it didn't give me jack squat else. So, yeah, I would suggest making sure that if you have this issue, disconnect the cross progression. Go to wbgames.com and sign into your account. Make sure to go to the one that says you got to go to the account settings and make sure to go to the one that says connections. It'll say connected accounts and disconnect them all, right? Like that's going to be your best fix because here's the thing. If there are other WB games that have the same issue, or if you have Mortal Kombat, say, like on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation, it could have the same issue on all those. And the only way to fix it would be to disconnect it, literally. So, yeah, that's pretty much the only fix that I could find that I figured out myself. But when I did look it up online, there was a video showing you how to enable cross progression. But as far as I could tell, I couldn't find anything that said, "Hey, look, disable this if you have these issues." Right? I couldn't find anything. Obviously, Microsoft couldn't find anything that said, "Hey, look, disable the cross progression if you have issues like this where you can't unlock Havik, or you're not getting, all your stuff." Right? So if you're only getting like bits and pieces of your stuff and everything else is not coming through it, it's just kind of like, nope, you can't unlock it, you can't have it, nothing. It's like, hey, look, I mean, Microsoft tried, but I don't even, they tried, and then I'm gonna have to message Warner Brothers games and let them know, like, hey, look, I found a fix for it. This is how you fix it. But the only downside is you literally kind of lose anything. Like, say, if you bought the Cameo pack or anything on, like, the PlayStation 5 and now you're on Series X like me, you do kind of lose the Cameo pack and you do have to rebuy it. But if you're also like me and you're more old school, you got to remember, games back then didn't have cross progression. If you had an Xbox, like say an Xbox 360 and a PS3, yeah, you had the same game for both. You kind of had there was no cross progression. So if you unlock stuff on the Xbox 360, you didn't get it on the PlayStation 3 without actually getting on there and unlocking it. So for me, I'm cool with it. I don't have to have the cross progression. I don't care for it. I don't. It doesn't even work that great on most freaking games anyway. Look at Call of Duty. That's a great example. Let's see. I have the Vault Edition of Modern Warfare 2 on the Series X, but on the PS5 it wouldn't give me my characters. Let's see. I had like 1,000 COD points or something like that on the PS5, but then on the Xbox, it's like, sorry, you only got 300, 350. Like, wait a minute. Am I missing something here? Where's the cross progression at? Because my characters, I can't use them. Then I lose my freaking COD points. Like, you don't even get most of your crap. Like, the only thing that really cross progresses is like your freaking rank. So that's another game that has, issues too. Which I think is completely bonkers because I think the cross progression is just a bunch of bullcrap, unless all these developers and stuff can actually implement it into their games. If they can implement it into their games, then guess what? Hey, you could disconnect it or enable it at any point. Obviously, they could give you the same option where it's like, hey, you disconnect it, you can re-enable it once, but after that, if you disconnect it again, you gotta wait 30 days before being able to re-enable it again. That makes sense. That's completely fine. But at the same time, I kind of feel like you should give people maybe, 2 or 3 instead of just 1 in case they do have an issue like this, because if that's the only way to fix it, only being able to do it once, yeah, kind of sucks, But, hey, maybe they'll do that. Who knows? But, yeah, no. So I'm assuming with the PS5 and everything else that if you have anything set up that allows you to, before you purchase anything, like, you got to type in a password or a PIN code or something, I would assume it's the same way on the PS5. But if you are afraid of turning that feature off, all you got to do is turn it off for a couple of minutes, buy whatever, turn it back on, or go directly to the actual Microsoft Store or PlayStation Store, go directly to those and buy it straight from there, and you should be good because, it'll work then, obviously. So if you are kind of afraid, hey, look, I don't want to do that just to go into the game and buy it, don't worry. Just go to the store itself, purchase it in there. There you go. Because the only character you can't purchase in the store, as far as I can tell, is Havik. But if you don't have this issue, all you gotta do is beat the story mode. You beat the story mode, you unlock the character for free. So you get the character by beating the story. So that's the only character you can't buy inside the store, like the Microsoft or Sony store, directly. But you can buy it, like, say, in the actual game where you could go to the store. But, the funny thing is not sure why they did that. Which is kind of funny because usually there'd be something like, hey, look, why did you do that? I mean, because, is it because you made it to where you can unlock it in the game by completing the story? Does it have something to do with that? Maybe. But, at the same time, I'm not sure. So, but anyways, hopefully I could help you guys out, whoever has the same problem. Again, all you have to do is go to wbgames.com, sign into your account, right? Go to the account settings, go to connections, and then go to the one, it'll say connected accounts, and then you disconnect all your accounts. That's the best fix for it, because that's the only fix for it that seems to actually work. Because deleting save data, this, that, and the other, nothing seemed to work. Not even deleting it from the cloud seemed to freaking work. So, basically, this is the best way to fix it. And it's pretty much the only way to fix it. So, yeah. Sorry that this was a long video. Well, not video, but audio. But at the same time, I'm trying to make sure that I cover everything with all the issues that it has and stuff, you know what I mean? So that way I don't have to make multiple videos trying to explain, oh yeah, I forgot this and that, like just trying to make sure that, it's all included in there. So, yeah. But anyways, I do stream on Twitch now, so if you guys would like to come over and check me out on there, it is also Vamp Love 420. Yes, I did change my gamer tag and everything, so that's what I go by now. So yeah, and I can't stream directly to YouTube right now. Eventually, get an Elgato or something as long as it works on the Xbox. Start streaming back on YouTube again, or maybe I'll eventually get a PS5 again and just start streaming on it again to YouTube and then use the Xbox for Twitch or something, you know what I mean? So, eventually we'll figure it out. But anyways, hopefully you guys have a great and blessed day. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.